Welcome to the show, to edition 4. I'm delighted. My name's Stuart Earl, I'm from Stroud, I'm a singer-songwriter, and welcome to the Songbook Sessions. What we've got for you is a sort of musical magazine with a bit of music from myself and some guests, including an interview from a very special guest. So, that's all good. I'd just like to say that nobody gets paid for the Songbook Sessions, and so what I would ask you to do is please go online and hopefully download an album. That would be great, or go to the artist's website and buy a CD. I will give you all the links for that later on. So I'm going to kick things off with a song, but first, this turned up from Amazon. This is a capo and tuner. Marvellous, works very well, that's great. I'm delighted, but I didn't order it from Amazon, so I'm not quite sure whether I'm very close to a birthday, so maybe somebody sent it. Maybe somebody thinks I can't play in tune or whatever. But anyway, I'm eternally grateful. Thank you for that. That's brilliant. Please send me anything you like in future, but skip straight to the Gibson Hummingbird next time. That's great. Thank you. So, okay, let's do a song. Excuse me. Get my voice right. This is a song called The Wild One. It's off the forthcoming album. And when I got the melody or the chorus for this, I thought that's Bob Seger song. So I've tried to push it in a Bob Seger direction because I love that sort of stuff. So here we go. This is called The Wild One. She was a wild one, came out of the night. I had my eyes on her till she slipped out of sight. She was red hot, bringing eyesight to the blind. Every night and day well, she'd be on my mind. She was a wild one. She was a wild one. She was a loved one, knew how to dress. Everywhere she went, perfection, nothing less. She had a cold heart, but you could never tell. The loving from the business, sail from the cell. I don't want to lose your love. After all the push and shove, the waters that we swam in were so shallow. City to city, town to town, she'd be yours and then she'd let you down. She was a wild one. She liked to dance alone. Now our time has passed. I dance on my own. I dance alone. She was a wild one. I can feel your fire burn. I can feel your feeling turn, but I don't want to move from your shadow. City to city, town to town, she'd be yours and then she'd let you down. So, that was the wild one. I hope you enjoyed that. So, to my guest. Hailing from Warwickshire and playing, what a giveaway, with the Gerry Colvin band. I've known this guy for a while, not very well, but we have a connection, if you like, from my good friend Lyndon Webb, who a lot of you will have met and know, and Lyndon also plays guitar with Gerry. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the irrepressible Gerry Colvin.
Gerry, hello. How you doing?
Hey, Stu. How you doing, mate? Great to see you.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you. You've got some refreshments there.
Fruit juice.
No, of course. Yes, indeed. That's one of your album covers on the wall, isn't it?
It is. It's from it's a tribute to Tony Hancock's film The Rebel. It was painted by a local artist, Chris Trim, who is absolutely fantastic. I really like The Rebel. Do you know the film?
No, I don't. No.
Every single person who is going to art school or who wants to be an artist in any form whatsoever should watch The Rebel.
Right.
It's about a man who has absolutely no talent, who is courted as one of the greatest artists of all time through some bizarre accident. And I feel an affinity with him. So
you're getting away with that, are you, Gerry?
Come on, we're all getting away with it.
That's absolutely right. We will be found out. There's no doubt about it. So, Gerry, can I start with Colvin Cornby? Because that's when I first came across you guys, because I knew Nick, because he played with Maxwell Street, done a lot of bass work and stuff with us. He was a great guy. Great loss.
Oh, wasn't he?
Yeah. Shame. Real shame. But a good band, and that's sort of transformed. You did several albums, and you've now transformed into the Gerry Colvin band.
Yes. Talking of Nick, I owe everything. Well, he's either made my life really fun or ruined it. I don't know which one,
but you're going to blame him anyway.
I miss him very. I miss him very much. I met him in Bristol. So it was Nick that kind of kick-started me back into music. So tremendous. And of course, we met some lovely people in that band. Everyone we played with, Johnny Harris, Martin Fitzgibbon, who I'm sure you know,
yes,
Dave Duckfield, loads and loads of people. Al Maslin from the Stratford band, Meet on the Ledge. And of course, the fantastic Marion Fleetwood. Yes. And that's, as you know, Stuart, that's what music is, isn't it? It's sort of like being in a gang, but without an eye.
I mean, we share a member of our gang, don't we? That blooming Lyndon bloke.
The genius that is Lyndon Webb.
Yes.
Never is a man more appropriately named as he is the web that keeps everything together. He's in your band. He plays with the wonderful Jane Pearl. He plays occasionally with lots of other bands. My favourite band, though, that he's in, and no offence, Stuart, and no offence to my band, my favourite is the loudest band in the forest.
What, the Hickories?
I don't know what they're called, but he always calls them the loudest band in the forest, which I think is a fantastic name.
I used to drum for the Hickory Stick Boys.
Did you?
Yes, indeed. That's where I met Lyndon.
Well, you're a drummer as well?
Yes.
Jesus Christ, man, I hate people that can do more than one thing.
Well, I tell you what, we can say whatever the hell we want about Lyndon because he doesn't do Facebook. So he went to
Isn't it funny how someone who is so technologically brilliant, in fact, doesn't do something that I would have expected him to do, like Facebook? The thing I like about Lyndon and Trish Power, the accordion player that plays with us, and Jerome Davis, the double bass player, is that they're all from completely different backgrounds. Lyndon ostensibly is a rock guitarist, but can play any genre of music. Jerome is a jazz double bass player, and Trish is a classically trained pianist who happens to play the accordion in a completely different way. And that's what I really like about it. And they all get on brilliantly well. So Lyndon will click in with Jerome, and will click in with the unusual way that Trish plays the accordion. And that's what, that's what music is, isn't it?
Yes.
It's not about making millions or being on the X Factor. It's about having fun and seeing something that everyone's contributing to.
Yes. And I have just seen the Cropredy film footage. And you had a hell of a gig there, didn't you?
Oh, it was great.
How many people?
I think there was 25 that year. I'm very sad that.
I'm used to doing gigs of 25 people.
It's the third time we'd done Cropredy. So I mean, the Fairport have been so supportive of me and Nick and the new band, that absolutely supportive, that they promote and help younger people, but I'm not that younger than them, to be honest. But I did it with Nick a couple of times, with Colvin Cornby, and then we've been lucky enough to do it with my band. And I have to say, every experience has been different, but everyone has been, it's a game changer. It was fantastic. I'm very proud to be invited. I never underestimate. I got a call from Dave Pegg, and I thought it was someone taking the piss, really, if I'm allowed to say that. And he said, "No, I saw you guys at Banbury Folk Festival, and you'd be great at Crops." Very, very proud to be connected with that particular festival. And of course, it was a very poignant one when we did it a couple of years ago, because when Fairport did Meet on the Ledge, myself and the band went on stage to sing it with the guys, and they showed a picture of Nick Cornby on the big screen.
Did they really? That's fantastic.
Which is beautiful for Nick. So we were all there, all of us.
Excellent. Well done, that man. That's really nice. Okay. So Terry and Gerry, then, sketch that out for me somehow.
I met Terry in a pub, and I was a big fan of Buddy Holly and the Everleys.
And he was a lot of people in pubs, Gerry. Is this
I'm afraid so.
Hanging around in bars.
We just had an idea of we don't want any drums, we just want double bass, and we want acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
And we just want something that's completely different to anything that was happening in the 80s. And by complete chance, we clicked songwriting-wise. Terry Lilly is one of the best songwriters I know. He really is excellent. And we both wrote songs, and we both co-wrote lots of songs. And it just seemed to click, and it was just fun, but it was political as well as upbeat and jolly. Yeah. And we happened just by chance to get on the Tube and Old Grey Whistle Test, and Rob Lloyd from the Nightingales happened to see us, and he had a record company at the time called Vindaloo, and put out a first record. And then we got a deal with Intape Records, which was run by ex-members of The Fall. And it was just this bizarre thing where we were doing skiffle indie rockabilly, and someone from The Fall liked it. so we went on tour with loads of people, and toured with the Pogues. We toured with, Billy Bragg, and it was a real experience. I had no idea of why, but I'm really proud of it. I'm proud of all the music we've done. I mean, we're just kids playing, aren't we? So it worked, and we reformed. We split up in, I think, 1989, but and hadn't done anything together for 30 years odd. And then John Peel, who was a big fan, I don't mean that in a in a boastful way. A guy got in touch and said, we're doing some concerts to commemorate John Peel's, decade after he passed away.
Sure.
And would you be interested? So I got in touch with the guys, and we were all still alive. So and we had a rehearsal in my house, and it worked. For some reason, it actually worked, and we remembered the songs. So we did a tour of that. And then someone saw us on that, and the tour manager of Status Quo, and invited us to go on their acoustic tour.
How does that work, Gerry?
I have no idea. Terry and Gerry is the most flukiest, luckiest band ever.
Yeah, can I join? So, what was it like going on the road with Status Quo then?
It was absolutely brilliant. They were so lovely to us. They called us the band with too much hair. It was very unusual, because I got the confirmation from the promoter that we were actually the support band. In fact, he originally asked us to go on tour with the Mavericks. And that was going to be a massive tour in Britain and Europe. But the Mavericks manager thought that he didn't really like the political content and the songs, which is fair dues, fair enough. I was a bit depressed. He said, well, I've got another thing. You might not want to do it. It's Status Quo. Do you want to do it? And I, of course, irrespective of what people think of Status Quo or other music, they are fantastic. They're icons. And they were absolutely brilliant to us. They were totally lovely. We actually got to play the Albert Hall. Wow. And I he sent me an email saying, can you send us your rider? And being a little band like we are, I said, yeah, we want, some sandwiches, we're not vegetarians, some crisps, some custard creams, a couple of bottles of wine, orange juice, and some beers, if that's okay. And I got this one back saying, that's great, Gerry, but wouldn't you rather have 3 meals a day and an unlimited bar like the rest of the band and crew?
Oh, go on then.
Well, never thought. And every night we got to the venues, from Glasgow right down to the Albert Hall, every night someone would take the piss out of me, one of the crew or one of the members of the Status Quo band, and say, hey, have you got your sandwiches, Gerry? You're right.
Excellent. Really good.
The best thing, though, that happened to us was we actually had our own flight case. So, and it had on the top, Terry and Gerry, the band with too much hair, spray canned on the top.
Fantastic.
Well, I said to the bloke afterwards, after the tour, I said to the tour manager, who was a fantastic bloke, I said, can we buy that? Can we buy it off you? And he went, nah, piss off.
Awesome. Let's talk songs then. So you're going to do 3 songs. Song number 1 is going to be what?
It's a song called Clown Shoes, and it will be on our new album, which comes out later this year. It's I tell you do this as well, Stuart. I like hiding the meaning underneath something that sounds very, very innocent. Right. And although it sounds like it's about a clown who wears clown shoes, because I love clown shoes. I tried to buy some, those big shoes. I tried to buy some. They're
always red, aren't they? They're always big and they're always red.
And also, they're kind of a metaphor for when we were young. Who in their right mind thought that young people liked somebody dressed like that?
Yeah, well, I've read Stephen King, so I'm not going there.
That's the thing that's inappropriate. Circuses are a metaphor for that, aren't they? When I was a kid, my mum and dad used to take us every year, I must have been like 6 or 7, to Chipperfield Circus on Blackheath Common in South London. Okay. And we'd watch elephants and tigers and a woman hanging from a rope spinning round by her teeth. And everyone thought it was great. I personally didn't, even at that age, but everybody did. Anyway, Clown Shoes, It's about the inappropriateness of the particular comedic thing that people go into.
Okay.
But in fact, it's really about drug dealers in Stratford-upon-Avon.
If only they knew.
Well, it was the track-suited, great big trainers in bright colours that I had the misfortune of seeing young kids that I know in our village, because I live in Warwickshire now, being exploited by. I'm not getting on my high horse, but. So I couldn't write about that because that would be obvious, but I suddenly thought these guys look like clowns, and they're exploiting somebody for something, and just like my mum and dad in Blackheath. So that's
Right.
the first.
On that note, let's listen to Clown Shoes. Thank you, Gerry.
Clown Shoes will feature on our new album, and you'll have to imagine that the brilliant Trish Power, Lyndon Webb and Jerome Davis will add their genius to this little jingle. I hope you like it. It's not really about clowns. I'm wearing my clown shoes on my clown feet. They keep taking me down the road where I shouldn't be. I'm wearing my clown paint on my pretty little face, but I don't see it that way, so I slap on my clown paste. And if you think I scare you, think what it's doing to me. I have to hide my sensitive side just to survive, you see, so I put on that clown coat. It's too big for me, but it's the only thing I feel comfortable in. Everybody knows my name, but I remain anonymous just the same. I'm your man in the clown suit. Smoke and mirrors, whatever you choose. A punchline to take away your blues. I'm your man in the clown shoes. You'll find me down the clown town, Piccadilly, where Eros frowns down on the clowns like me. I'm appearing at the clown court, but it's not really me. I send a trainer clown to take the custard pie for me. Everybody knows my name, but I remain invisible just the same. I'm your man in the clown suit. Smoke and mirrors, whatever you choose. A punchline to take away your blues. I'm your man in the clown shoes. And if by chance I scare you, that was my intent. I'll say sorry with a squirt of a flower. We're the same, we got no sense. I'm driving in my clown car with the show spoiler, selling that uncut joke to all you country folk. Everybody shakes my hand, but I remain the untouchable man. I'm the Joker in the clown suit. Smoke and mirrors, whatever you choose. A punchline to take away your blues. I'm your man in the clown shoes. I'm on that circus train. I'm crossing those county lines. With a honk of my horn, I'll perform for the sad and forlorn.
Song number 2 I've had real problems with, because you said it was something that was a real influence.
Yeah, or a connection. Yeah.
Or a connection. So I thought I'd do a song that Terry and I wrote. That, if that's okay.
Of course. Yeah.
That helped us get the deal with Vindaloo Records. Rob Lloyd from the Nightingales, who's a great mate and who is an absolute innovative performer,
right.
Totally and utterly different to anything that you and I do, but absolutely encapsulates everything that I love about music,
right.
where it's left field and interesting. And he heard this song. It's called Butters on the Bread. Terry wrote most of the lyric, and we changed it into the song that hopefully I'll be able to play. And it's about, and it encapsulated, if that's a word, the 80s. We were talking about a situation in England, and it was actually the whole of Britain, but we transferred it to an American situation so that we could sing it in a certain style, and people seemed to like it. So right. I thought that was one of my influences, to be honest.
Okay, so song number 2, Gerry, is
Butters on the Bread.
Butters on the Bread. Take it away.
My brother lost his job digging dirty coal, and Papa don't work 'cause he's too damn old. Mama washed dishes for most of her life. The butter's on the bread of the rich man's life. The butter's on the bread of the rich man's life. Meanwhile, I'm here biding my time, trying not to get arrested on a picket line. Right sticks away by the boys in blue. Say we are Reds, but it just ain't true. Say we are Reds, but it just ain't true. Darling little sister is hungry again, but there isn't any work for us working men. Strike goes on, don't know what I'm gonna do. Pay my union dues, got the dispute blues. Union dues, got the dispute blues. Times are tough, times are bad. The pressure's on the people and the people are mad. Brothers such a work without any luck. Sold everything trying to raise a buck. Sold everything trying to raise a buck. My brother lost his job digging dirty coal, and Papa don't work 'cause he's too damn old. Mama washed dishes for most of her life. Butter's on the bread of the rich man's life. Butter's on the bread of the rich man's life. The butter's on the bread of the rich man's life.
I love Gerry's songs. I hope you enjoy that. So, as a bit of a contrast and slight change, we have another guest now, and I'd like you to introduce to you a fellow called Joe Topping. He hails from Liverpool. He's a very clever songwriter, a nice slide player, has a great voice, and I'm beginning to hate him with a passion. This song gives me goosebumps. We've got a song from Joe Topping called No Matter Where I Ramble.
No matter where I ramble, some down if you'll take me. Well, I've been around this whole wide world. I've walked from coast to coast. No matter where my feet do roam, held your memory close. Maybe I've been running too long. Maybe there's no place I belong. But no matter where I ramble, something pulls me back. Whether it's by ship or plane or down a railway track, I'm coming back to where my heart goes anytime that wind blows lately. 'Cause heaven knows I've been around. Think it's time I settle down if you take me. Well, I've seen the Nile and the Taj Mahal. I've seen Old Faithful glow. And despite the wonders of the world, it's just one place I wanna go. Maybe I've been running too long. Maybe there's no place I belong. But no matter where I ramble, something pulls me back. Whether it's by ship or plane or down a railway track, I'm coming back to where my heart goes anytime that wind blows lately. 'Cause heaven knows I've been around. Think it's time I settle down if you'll take me. Oh, no matter where I ramble, something pulls me back. Whether it's by ship or plane or down a railway track, I'm coming back to where my heart goes anytime that wind blows lately. 'Cause heaven knows I've been around. Think it's time I settle down if you'll take me.
Thanks, Joe. Love that. And you can find Joe at www.joetoppingmusic.com. So, question. Last edition we talked about the problems with the music and performance industry and would we ever go to a live gig again, etc, etc, etc. That thread is still open on my Facebook page, so please pay it a visit and let me have your opinion. I'd love to hear it. So here we go with Gerry Colvin's final part of his interview, which, by the way, we didn't get through everything. I can't fit everything onto this edition. So what I'll do is make them available with links from my Facebook page, just some extra bits of the conversation, if you are interested in songwriting and various things. So here we go. Last bit of Gerry's interview with a classic cover. Roll it.
Right. Well done, mate. Good. Okay. So let's talk song 3, classic cover. Can't wait to hear what it is.
Do you know what? I've asked so many people what their classic cover is.
Yeah.
I really wanted to do The Day Before You Came by ABBA, because I think that's a brilliant song. I really did. But classic cover...
You're a McCartney fan, aren't you?
I am. I love Paul McCartney, but I wouldn't deem myself good enough to do any particular McCartney song.
Right.
I haven't really decided yet, but it's between either Nick Lowe, Joe Jackson, or Nancy Whiskey and Chas McDevitt's Freight Train.
Oh, let's do Freight Train.
Third song, Freight Train.
Come on.
So this song is called Freight Train. My granddad had this on a 45 7-inch single, and I used to play it a lot when I was a kid. And I always thought that Nancy Whiskey and Chas McDevitt had written it. And later on I discovered that it was written by a lady called Elizabeth Cotton, which led me down a kind of track. I found out about songwriting and the commercial side of songwriting, and it's a great story if you want to kind of research it. And this features the brilliant Stuart Earl on slide guitar. If you've got anything in your house, a pair of spoons or a guitar or any instrument, join in and play along, especially in the solo. Here we go. Freight train, going so fast. Freight train, going so fast. I don't know what train she's on. Won't you tell me where she's gone? When I'm dead and in my grave, no more good times here I'll crave. Place a stone at my head and feet. Tell them I've gone to sleep. Freight train, going so fast. Freight train, going so fast. I don't know what train she's on. Won't you tell me where she's gone? When I die, oh, bury me deep down the end of Bleecker Street, so I can hear old number 9 as she goes rolling by. Freight train, going so fast. Freight train, going so fast. I don't know what train she's on. Won't you tell me where she's gone? Freight train, going so fast. Freight train, going so fast. I don't know what train she's on. Won't you tell me where she's gone? I don't know what train she's on. Won't you tell me where she's gone?
So my apologies to Elizabeth Cotton for driving a coach and horses through a wonderful song. Fun though. So up next, from last year, recorded at the Pocklington Arts Centre and featuring the fabulous Michael Messer and the super fab Robbie McIntosh. This is one of my songs, and this is called The Devil Drives.
Close enough, is it? It's called The Devil Drives. Got a broken heart made of rust to steel. I got a love for you, pounding like a driving wheel. When needs must, when the devil drives. Well, guess who's in the driving seat tonight? I've given up
nice and clean. Got too much to lose. Hey there, buddy, have you got late? Well, guess who's in the driving seat tonight? Needs must when the devil drives. Gotta find a way out of here alive. Needs must when the devil's on the right. Guess who's in the driving seat tonight? Needs must when the devil tries. Gotta find a way out of here alive. Needs must when the devil's on the right. Guess who's in the driving seat tonight? I've got a wife and kids, got a marriage plan, got a cat, I've got a house, I got an acre of land. There's a girl over there, she smiled at me alright. Guess who's in the driving seat tonight? Needs must when the devil drives. Gotta find a way out of here alive. Needs must when the devil's on the right. Guess who's in the driving seat tonight? Needs must when the devil drives. Gotta find a way out of here alive. Needs must when the devil's on the right. Guess who's in the driving seat tonight? Thank you very much. You as well, everybody.
I consider myself very lucky to get on stage with musicians like that. So, we're reaching the end, and I need to thank my very special guest, Mr. Gerry Colvin, for his time, effort, and his wonderfulness. You can catch Gerry on www.gerrycolvin.co.uk. Excuse me. There's also a great film of Gerry called Gerry Colvin, a film made by his friends. I'll put a link to that on my Facebook page. It's very funny. As I'll put a link to all guests and so forth. And as I mentioned earlier, we couldn't fit all the Gerry interview in, so I will put additional bits on my Facebook page, so you can have a look at that. Please do. Finally, I'd just like to reiterate, nobody gets paid for the Songbook Sessions, so my request to you is to download, if you can, albums, etc., or buy CDs from the artist's website. And finally, my next guest, in a couple of weeks' time, is the leader of one of the UK's top tribute bands. It's a gentleman called Matt Bond, and he's from the Small Fakers, obviously a Small Faces tribute band. Now, I'm a devoted Steve Marriott fan, and I can recommend Matt and the band, and they are doing a great job in keeping that music alive. So I'm looking forward to meeting him and chatting, and he is a busy guy. He does a lot of gigs with Small Fakers, definitely worth seeing, and he's also busy with other things as well. So it'll be an interesting one. So thank you for watching, and don't forget, I'd love to hear from you. Please stay in touch, blah blah blah. Stay well, stay safe. See you again soon. Thank you.